Yippee! Day one, week one. Week one, day one. I gotta get used to all that again. Anyway, we're getting ready to go from the hotel here to the property, and some of that prep work has been done. Today we will only have one carpenter and two helpers, which is again more than adequate for getting started. We're expecting maybe two helpers to show up today, which will probably only be about a 1 week contract. It's not going to be long, and trust me, we're going to have lots of people coming out of the woodwork wanting work, as it did last year, but we got most of that work done last year. Okay, here we go. We're getting started. And this guy
Yeah.
right there,
Yeah.
Guapo.
guapo criminal. No. He's
the engineer.
he's the engineer for the electrical. He's about to run off and get the wire.
Yeah.
And so we will have the wire hooked up today.
Yeah. Salamat kayo.
The lineman will come back later and do from the main pole to the street pole. Okay. In the meantime, pay attention. So yeah, they get their cover in. So this lamboosing, there's different guys than last year. So they are tarping up, and because it's hot right now, boys and girls, it is hot. It's been a bit of a frustrating morning for me. The rhythm is all gone. But beyond that, I keep hitting myself with stuff. Lamboosing crew, we're about 2 hours into our day. They have opened up the bunkhouse again, and they're going to put the tarp up here so they can get ready to start bagging that soil, and we will get them busy doing other things, because notice all the grass. Now, this is where the cows all live. And I'm going to show you in a second what our property looks like. OMG, as the kids would say. Look at all the grasses out front there. Anyway, Michael, our electrician, he's been cutting the grass down, and we will also use some lamboosing guys if necessary to get this grass down. Already, the guys are getting ready to do the washroom to the guest house slash garage, and so Mr. Kalafu is hard at work here. Just a reminder that last year when Mary Lou was using these guys for their build, she thought Mr. Kalafu, because he had pink hair back then, thought Mr. Kalafu was a girl. Okay, so here's the preload of our soil. And so, you know, down the middle, plumbing, electrical, all that started to happen, but the slab areas are kind of preloaded. And as a reminder, if you haven't seen our other videos, we took all the black soil out of here. It's quite shallow. Unlike what we went through the other day, we're putting in the fence posts. This is very shallow compared to the other end. Makes sense. You know, the rain is slowly eroding out to the ocean, right? The old-fashioned way, guys. We don't have power on the property, so in many of my videos I have mentioned that a stick, or in this case a piece of pipe, a nail through it, and a hammer.
Okay.
That's their chisel. Okay, year number 2, and guess what? Lynn's hard at it negotiating again. Wee! She is an animal. Anyway, guys, we've left the property. The guys on their typical hour-and-a-half lunch, and they sleep, eh? They sleep most of that, or a good chunk of that lunch. Anyway, so that's our opportunity to get down and get some materials and stuff, and we need a box of gloves. So that's what we are picking up right now. We worked with this lady last year, and she was about half the price of these ones that we picked up as an emergency yesterday, and better quality, these ones. So the lady's just texting over to their other store, and we will pick up some stuff. There she is, the master negotiator. I think she gets really good prices because of this.
Where?
I think she tells the store owners that I beat her if she doesn't get the best price. Is that what you tell them? See, she's not going to admit it. She won't sign a piece of paper, and nodding is not admissible in court. As Lynn did last year, we just drove into one of our favorite little stores for getting, like all steel hammers because, oh my goodness, guys, these guys can go through tools. Now, a lot of it is because the tools are absolute garbage, but we found a key little store here where you can get all metal. So the hammer, everything is all metal, which is nice because it's all welded. We have never had an issue with it. As a matter of fact, we bought a rake that's just 10 mm bar to make the rake, and it's the only thing that held together. The other Western style for grass, doesn't work at all. So it's funny. Anyway, we were in there, we saw a steel chisel, and I said, I wish you had one with a point on it, because we have to smack through some concrete right now. And Lynn says, I'll go look. And the lady went, no, I'll go look. So we found over the years that in many cases here, you could just put the bug in their ear. They know you're going to keep coming back to them. And that is key in a lot of what we do in the Philippines. I am big on loyalty towards people who give me good service. And if you don't, we have a company called the Hudson Bay Company in Canada. My mom bought me a pair of jeans and they didn't fit or something. I can't remember what it was. I went back down to exchange them. The lady said, here they are. I went and bought them. I exchanged them. It was all on Mom's credit card or Bay card back in the day. Credit cards weren't out yet. That's how old I am. And anyway, the bill came in. Mom got furious with me. And I didn't shop at the Bay for 30 years because of that. Loyalty. Okay, now you can't see it through here, but I want to caution you guys. They have very nice pots here, but they are all aluminum. And we know that even from deodorant, which has aluminum in it, that is a trigger with the amount of aluminum that can show up in the brain. Can you say dementia? Can you say Parkinson's? Can you say many brain disorder issues? So please run like hell if they try and sell you these aluminum pots. Rant over. Don't underestimate a Filipino crew. When we left at lunch, there were holes maybe, oh God, 10 inches around, and it hadn't even broken through the wall. And I'm going, these guys need some serious tools here. This is crazy. We got to get this done properly here. We got back and half the door was already knocked out. So let's have a look at the electrical. So this has been added now. This will be the meter base. Okay, and there are the two heads. Okay, so main power into one and out power on the other. And so the main isn't run yet, but it'll be coming from that direction there through that palm tree. They've already made a request for that one to be removed. And then we have our two poles going down the property. Meet you at the other end. Okay, so this is our yard pole where the 60 amp breaker is going to go. Okay, and then from here we will go underground. We will have to put another head in there. Okay, I'm not using the right terminology. I'm trying to also keep it simplistic. And then we will run a pipe from there into the garage. And the fellow that's working with the bolo down there, cutting up all the long grass, he's our electrician. And he's a local guy here that is kind of desperate for some work. Our bunkhouse, we got reopened. We bought these guys a serious hammer, but they got most of it done without this serious hammer. They are pounding away, literally. So we're going to utilize this slab here, and our pipes will have to extend. Those go to the house. We are going to put in a ground junction box, so those pipes will come into a junction, and then when the house is being done, they will come up to this junction. Just as I always like places where I can easily break in if I have to. Underneath the pile of this stuff is where our pipes are coming across. The water's already in the garage, and so that's all we're waiting for. It's just the power. So I will be talking with Michael. This is Michael right here. Say hi, Michael. Hi. There we go. And we'll talk to him about putting electrical into the garage here. Probably 2 lights, 2 separate switches for the inside, and then on all 4 corners of the garage. One, these 2 on this end for the sidewalk, and those 2 just meh, security, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and on this wall, on the inside, will be a 4x8 sheet of plywood to mount the electrical panel, and our water will be below it, but it'll also be where we can hammer. It'll also be where we have our stainless steel kitchen. We've already bought the stainless steel kitchen, but we will need cabinets over top. And in a separate video, we will go down and show you our craftsmen here. They make mahogany furniture, etc. Mr. Kalafu. That's why I need my eggs again, Lynn. My egg-sucking dog is back. She's a good dog, this one. If I was staying here full time, oh, she's had pups. She had pups while we were away. Hello, pup. Hello. Hello. I know. No eggs today. Tomorrow we get you an egg. Okay, so Lynn and I are going to review here because these electricians ended up charging us for 11 meters times both conductors, more than what we needed. And that has turned into a little frustration with the 2 of us.
I know.
So we'll start focusing, Lynn, on this side.
On this, because this
Yeah,
is the lower
going
part.
up towards the house, yeah, and focus on the low side, right? Because we don't want to build it up so much that it all ends up pooling water in here, right?
Yeah, because that will be our, our hole here for the...
Yeah, so guys, if you haven't been following, we are doing a more traditional city septic tank. And yes, there's very little sewer system in the Philippines. It's all septic tank. Even in the middle of the city, it is septic tank. So in our septic tank, we have 3 chambers. The first chamber is a solids chamber. It is actually deeper. Then the second one is, we'll call it muddy waters. I like my jazz. And the last is the clarified. Now we will bring our shower water directly to the clarified chamber. Now normally in the Philippines they just stop there, okay, unless it's the city, at which point they run a clarified pipe out of the back of their septic tank up to the storm drain, which would normally run across the road here. We don't have a storm drain, but because we've got low area here, we're going to run that pipe out and put a valleyed trench in there, and then the water can come down. We'll drill holes in the pipe, and then it can just do the perk all the way down. And the reason that we're doing that is that this soil is nasty, nasty stuff. It is hard. Woo! But once you break it up enough, it turns into powder. But we did know that, and surprisingly, we're walking on the driveway here, and 6 months worth of rain on this property, and this is hard as concrete again. And that's why, if Lynn will point out, or where my toe is there, that rock, it will never break down. Never. So it's hard on the tires. Anyway, that's our goal. So down in here, we'll probably be able to stop. This is our lowest of low. And so we will add more soil along the edge of the driveway here, black. And In the future, Lynn and I have talked about where we would put a second permanent structure, maybe for in-law suite or something along those lines, and that will probably be down here because Canadians, we like our space. The garage will eventually be a bunkhouse, and we will put a freestanding roof structure for the car eventually, if I can ever convince Lynn that I can live in the Philippines full time.
We'll see.
She's rolling her eyes. She's saying, we'll see.
I can start my farming business here.
She can start her farming business here, making pesos instead of dollars.
No, I can make millions.
She can make millions, she said. She is a hard ass, so trust me, she could make millions. Okay, and as you can see from our anapogue here, how much that was powdery looking and everything last year.
It's so hard now.
Yeah, it's very hard. Lynn can even climb to the top, yeah.
Wow.
But Lynn, look at what I mean about you
know.
cannot bury big rocks.
Yeah.
Sand goes under big rocks and will lift big rocks.
Daddy.
The bitch is back.
Yeah.
The bitch is
Sorry,
back.
we don't have eggs today.
Eggs tomorrow, sweetie. Eggs tomorrow. This dog is going to end up living inside my house. I know it is, but it's just going to be 6 months out of the year. It'll probably come in and have a little snack and then go do what it does, which is go sniff out stuff. But no mange on this dog. No mange started, and so they're eating, or they're getting fed well. The teeth are still good. So many of the dogs that we see here, you will cry. If you're a dog person, you will cry. Most of the dogs, I would say 99% of the dogs in this country are feral. Okay, meaning that they are wild. They want to be in a relationship, but they are scared of humans because most humans start to, kick at them, push them away because they're diseased, right? And rabies is very high in this country, very high. Here's our garage. The guys have dug this out. They're bagging it, and this will be filled for the house. And I've had a couple of people ask me why we didn't do this right in the very beginning, and that is security. Pretty sure that somebody would have pried it open. Okay, we'll call this a wrap today. Say goodbye, Lynn. Goodbye, Lynn. Salamat, guys.